Hello, and today we're going to take a look at part 2 in the Escape the Dark series. This is Escape the Dark Sector. Now, this game, as I say, second in the series, is a sci-fi space-based version of the game that we first saw with Escape the Dark Castle. Now, a bit like the previous game, it follows the sort of black and white, old school artwork aesthetic, which people will like or not. But what's interesting, as it says here, using a variety of advanced gear and weaponry, embark on a desperate mission to find your ship and blast your way home. So you're trying to escape onto your spaceship, and I think you've got a few more choices in the game based on the sales pitch for this. And as you can see, they reckon it takes about 45 minutes and supports one or more players aged 14 or more. And that's pretty good. Now, Escape the Dark Castle has been one of my most popular games with non-gamers. So I'm very pleased to see they brought out an alternative set of gameplay, I guess, where you've got ranged attacks, you've got a couple of decision points. So hopefully they've not made it too complex, because I think the simplicity of Escape the Dark Castle is what's made it so popular. Anyway, let's get the box open. Now the box is more or less, I believe, the same size as Escape the Dark Castle in its original retail box. So you get a rule book. You get your cards, your pencils, your little sort of equipment cards, and then your dice, which, as you can see, look a little bit different. They're slightly more angular in appearance, but effectively are the same. I believe, though, there are some extra icons. So like at the bottom here, you might see there's a couple of extra icons, lightning bolt and everything. So that will be covered in the rule book. And then there's also a rather cool way of tracking your health with this medical record sheet. Now, I do really like this box format. It's small, it's simple to transport. And one of the problems I've got with Escape the Dark Castle is because I've got the deluxe box, it takes up a lot more room. And I must admit, I am tempted to unbox it all and put it back into the original box just to make transporting it easier. It'd be interesting to see if they go down the same route with Escape the Dark Sector with expansion packs and a deluxe box, etc. Now, having broken out the large pack, you've got your crew cards. I think there's 6 of those. Interestingly, we have 3 opening sequences, but then the actual exploration, it's got a much better back rather than just be plain black. You've actually got Sector 1, Sector 2, and Sector 3. I'm not sure that's the official name for them actually, but part 1, part 2 and part 3 of your adventure. So rather than just be all one big stack, you've actually got increasingly difficult critters to take on. And of course, finally, you've sort of got your big boss. I think there's 5, possibly 6 of these. They're identified by this escape hatch, and as it says here, do not read unless you've completed the last chapter card. And if you're correct, you turn over here, and then this is the last person you have to defeat before you can get on your spaceship and escape. Now, the only criticism I have of these large format cards is they are a little bit bent. They should flatten out over time though, so hopefully that won't be a big problem. So let's have a quick look now at the small format cards. Amongst the small format cards, you've got your close combat and range combat actions, a little quick reminder there. You've also got this handy little reference sheet that reminds you what the icons mean and rules you wish to remember. Now, unfortunately, you only get 1 set of these. It would have been nice to have more sets for multiple players. You've also got the drone recharging, medical drone, flank unavailable, flank cards, which is a new feature of this game, so you can outflank people and heal. You get a mission failed and mission accomplished card, which you can flip over and read, and it'd be interesting to see if they bring out a book to give you alternative endings. Then these cards here, just spoiling one, as you can see, are various items, and then your weapons, which have a white back. So yeah, a nice little mix of cards. Now, when it comes to the dice, you've got the large format and the small format. So you've got, in the small format, you've got blank, gun sight, kind of powered up bullet, regular bullet, exclamation mark, powered up, lightning bolt and blank. And then on the big white and black dice, you've got the fist, the eye, the star, and then obviously the various shield effects and double effects that your heroes have. And there are also some extra small dice that for some reason I didn't get out of the box, which is the 2 blast symbols. Obviously, I'm not going to bother showing you the pencils, but the final bit you're going to want is the rule book, which doesn't have a reference sheet on the back page. A bit of a missed opportunity there. So you've got a bit of artwork, your introduction with your index, etc. A little bit about the game and the object of it, the component breakdown, which is quite nice to see. Now, there are some starting cards which I forgot to pull out, so just be aware of those. And then, you know, there's all the other bits. So we've got your ballistic dice with the bullets, your energy dice, your explosive dice, your crew dice, your hit dice, and your chapter dice. It then tells you how to set it up, preparing your medical records, how to actually play, so the turn order, the U card, which we don't actually have in this set, so you just have to remember, it shouldn't be too tricksy. Then you've got the detection level, the heart of the station, and the forgotten zone, which is zone 1, 2 and 3. The end game, how to deal with the item cards, exchanging items is covered. Combat, this is the bit that is very new and different, particularly ranged combat with ammo dice, etc. And then there's a nice example of play, close combat, the flanking feature, standard combat actions, ending your combat, cleaning up after combat, the between chapters bit, and then a little bit about solo play with, again, some cool artwork. So yeah, that's a pretty quick little rule book that you can get you through, about 24 pages. But the key bit, I think, is going to be from page 12 onwards, particularly the range combat and the flanking. That is very new and very different. Now, as range combat's particularly new, just want to point out here, as it says, if you're given the option of range combat and you choose to take it, everyone simultaneously dives into cover. You can then choose to shoot, which means you roll your dice, and you could end up with jams or special effects. You then have to take account of your ammo dice, deal with any return fire. You can choose to flank, so you will place your die on the flank action, and that basically gives you an extra shot, basically. Obviously, we then get an example of how that works. However, in close combat, you know, you can't do flanking, I believe. Yeah, you can't do flanking, so as per this important bit here, you can fight or you can defend. So pretty simple. Then there's a new flank round, and then finally we've got the various bits. So you've got a reload, activate your drone, trade cards, take cover. Then you've got some special moves here. So a little bit more tactical, the combat, and I think that's going to prove to make this game less popular with people who aren't hardcore gamers. However, for the gamer out there, they might find this is slightly better than the Dark Castle. And this is always a problem. As a gamer, I'm going to prefer this, but are the people I want to play with going to like it? Because it's like, I much prefer the original, it's much more simple. Of course, the other thing that people might like is the sci-fi versus the fantasy setting. So I think if you love Escape the Dark Castle, this is well worth picking up, but bear in mind it is a little bit more complex, but it's still a pretty simple game. So yeah, it might address some of the issues that some people had with the Dark Castle, where they thought it was just flip a card, take a hit, move on. But as I say, despite the criticism of Dark Castle, this game has been really popular with my sort of non-gaming group, and I'm really looking forward to getting them to try out the Dark Sector. Anyway, that's been a quick little unboxing and very light review of the game. Hopefully you've seen enough to decide whether you like it or not. Now, I can't remember if this rulebook's actually available for download. If it is, I suggest you download it, and if you know anything about Dark Castle, you'll be able to tell whether you'll like this, I think, from just reading the rulebook. Well, that's that for this video. Don't forget you can also get special sleeves designed for the game, and they're well worth it in my opinion. So anyway, until the next video, happy gaming!